So again, real ripe blood orange, ripe white peach. Not a whole lot of minerality here or evidence of oak, just a very a floral component. There's a measure, there's a headiness to this wine, 5B, an impression of a higher alcohol or an elevated alcohol. Let's taste it on the palate. Okay, so much crisper, a little bit more sour on the palate. I would confirm that floral component, the ripe orange, a little bit more of a bitter, almost orange pithiness to this wine. I don't think as complex. There's a spritz to the palate that's pretty lively here, a light spritz on the wine, but just in terms of flavor complexity, not as complex as 5A. I am getting some elevated alcohol in this wine. So balance, I would put this wine just slightly out of balance from the elevated alcohol, but I really pleasant, very very good, easy drinking wine, very pleasurable as a dessert wine. But from a total package perspective, I think prefer 5A. I think that 5A is a little bit just a little bit more fun, a little bit more complex. It just has a little bit more going on.
I agree. So, I think it's a little easier to drink as well.
Okay, yeah, I would agree with that.
I really enjoyed the acidity in 5A that Devon mentioned. I think it balances the fruit and the sugar very, very well in this wine. I would like, we have a local creamery called Bluebell Ice Cream, and I think that this would go great with that Bluebell Vanilla. Either of them would go absolutely perfect.
Absolutely, absolutely.
You want to
let's reveal.
Find out what they are?
Yeah, let's reveal. I don't know how I got stuck with this duty, but...
You were the one that brought the scissors.
Yeah, they're going to take it away from me for next time because I'm not very good at it. I'm a wine buyer, not a surgeon.
And please don't cut yourself. So
I know. Here we go. Okay. Goodness gracious.
All right. So 5A is the Texas Hills Orange Moscato. First time that we agreed that the Texas wine was better.
First time we've agreed on just about anything. So that's solid.
And that's coming to you at a price point of $17.50. That means that the next wine is going to be the Quaddy Electra Orange Muscat. That's the 2007, and the price point on that is going to be $13. Quaddy, as I'm sure many of you know, is one of the most reputable dessert wine producers in California. They focus only on dessert wines, so I think it's good that Texas showed well here.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, very nice examples of orange muscat. I would be excited to drink that Texas Hills Orange Muscat. Absolutely.
Absolutely. We just got another question in. What is the growing climate in the Texas wine region as compared to Napa or Sonoma? Texas is a very, very large state. So to pinpoint one specific climate is a little bit difficult. We have 8 AVAs, or approved viticulture areas here in Texas that range from the New Mexico border over to the Oklahoma border to the center of the state. For the most part, they're all very warm. When you get to more of those northern regions, such as the Mesilla Valley or the Texoma Valley, you're going to get those cooler nights, as well as the Texas High Plains that are actually going to kind of shut down the vines a little bit at night and give them a break from the intense heat. Right in our backyard is the Texas Hill Country, and the days during the growing season can get up to 110 and nights can stay at 90 or the mid to high 80s. So it doesn't provide a lot of relief when we actually need to harvest very early, late July, early August in those regions. But as compared to Napa and Sonoma do have that early morning fog or kind of a mist that comes in. You're not going to get to those 100-degree temperatures until mid-afternoon, and then it typically shuts down at night. So they do have a bit of that cooler climate, and that's why they're able to successfully grow beautiful, beautiful Pinot Noirs and elegant Chardonnays. And Napa and Sonoma have been growing grapes a little longer than we have. They have a little more money to invest in it, and they've really done a good job of defining what varietals are going to work best in that region. We're still working on that a little bit.
Yeah, and I would just add to that, Texas is a wine region. It reminds me a lot, we talk about it having a Mediterranean climate in general, and I think that we're seeing that. That's the reason why the grapes are doing so well here that are unique to France or Spain or Italy, for example, with that Mediterranean climate. So I would say that the Texas wine region, a little bit warmer, definitely more comparable or similar to Mediterranean countries. So Spain, Italy, France. I tend to think of it, seems a little bit like the Rhone Valley in terms of proximity to the Gulf of Mexico versus proximity to the Mediterranean Ocean. Stands to reason that Syrah, Viognier, Grenache, Mourvedre, these are all grape varieties that do really, really well here. So
and similar to Spain and Italy as well.
Absolutely, with Tempranillo and Sangiovese.
Now, we just got another question in. What is the retail availability of the Texas wines generally? Being a retailer, Devon, would you like to talk about that?
So a lot of Texas wines are sold just right out of the winery. But I think there's a fairly decent distribution system for wines in Texas. We certainly, without the shameless plug of Whole Foods Market, but we certainly we carry a fair amount of them, and they're readily available. They either have distribution through distributors, or they have a fairly decent self-distribution network. So you can find any one of the wines that we tasted today, you can definitely find on a retail shelf, if not all over Texas, at least in retailers close to the areas. But a lot of these wines you're going to find in Texas retailers from Houston all the way up to Dallas.
And about 95% of the wines in Texas are actually sold here and consumed here in Texas, and that's something we are trying to expand. We're trying to reach to some of those broader markets and get Texas wines out there. If you are from out of state and you're looking for some wines, a lot of times you can just contact the winery. A lot of the shipping laws have been changed recently to allow for a Texas winery to ship you products, so that's a way to get them as well.
That Texas Hills Orange Muscat is delicious.
It's groovy.
Okay, so we have a caller, a phone caller.
We're actually going to, this concludes the tele-tasting. Thank you very, very much. We are going to have a conference call after that, and I have a number for y'all to call in. It's 1-888-214-7806, and I'll repeat that for you. It's 1-888-214-7806. The passcode that you will need to enter is 944792, followed by the pound or the hash sign. And operators are standing by. Thank you.
We are standing by, actually.
We're actually going to stay on camera, and you can just call in and we'll get to talk.
So we're not going to stay on camera?
Correct.
Okay, so we won't be on camera, but we will be on the telephone. So please call us in. We'll give you that number one more time. With
That
the passcode.
number, one more time, is 1-888-214-7806, and that passcode is 944792 pound.
So that concludes the tele-tasting part, the webcast portion, but we will be available to answer any questions for you. So without further ado, I guess, cheers, guys.
Cheers. Thank you.